What's up, Rangers? Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve, and today I'm painting a 1999 Godzilla. What this is going to be is we're going to make him into a Burning Godzilla, just like we did with the 2019. So it's not going to be too much different between the two, but if you guys want to know how the process is, currently you'll notice his lower section is black. His upper section I still have to do. A lot of this because I get worried about with NECA's breaking joints, popping stuff off. I tend to just kind of like adjust paint when doing these guys. And then where parts I think I'm going to have issues with rubbing, I'll come back through and properly seal it before I start moving everything around. For instance, the back of the legs here, around the feet I'm going to have to do, and kneecaps. So I'm trying to get as much as I can done without moving, and then we will come back to start actually moving the items, and then doing the dry brushing. I think I'll show you guys what I'm doing here real quick, but for these sections where I got to connect back on, I don't want the paint to rub off. So what I'm doing is I actually got one of these really cheap brushes, and I took some Loctite glue, put it on top of this plastic cup, and I'm using that to brush the glue onto the top here. And what this is going to do is it's going to seal my paint in, kind of like a clear coat, and also it makes it super durable, so when the figure's posing, it won't scuff off. And then, when I go to clear it with my matte finish, it'll knock the shine off from the super glue. So I'm just brushing some super glue on top, and then I have this accelerant that makes it harden in just a couple seconds after you spray it. These intersections don't move around so much, and it's not scuffing as I'm moving it without even clearing it. So I should be good here. Once I just seal it, it'll be fine. But there is certain points, like the back of the knees here, I want to make sure get done right. So same thing, just rubbing on the knees. And the nice thing too is doing it this way, and then with the accelerant, I don't have to really worry about it. Like, I'm not going to glue it shut. I'm not putting enough glue here to seal these things off. Then, take my hair dryer. This evaporates really quick. Now you'll see here, it's got a bit of a shine to it now, but it's not going to rub off, which is what you want. Even though this joint that's tough, it's not coming off. So we're good there. I'm just double checking the front of the knees and making sure none of the paint came off when I posed those, which it seems like we should be good. So for the most part, he's probably just going to be standing on the shelf in a fairly static pose. But I just want to make sure that everything's going to be good, which I might still do some inside the thighs here just to help seal that up. I'm also noticing right here, I gotta add some more paint too, so we'll do that real quick. Just gonna get a bunch of black in here. This is another way too to kind of cheat if you're don't want to pull the entire figure apart, because for this guy, like I worry about, especially with it being a NECA, like a figure's great and all, but the joints can be a little scary. So what you see here is I'm just using the hair dryer, dry it up, then I'm gonna dry brush my gray over top of this to make it uniform with the rest of the leg. Kick it one more time. Then, make sure it doesn't rub off. I could take my glue. Sometimes you gotta worry about though, you gotta be quick with this. Like you wanna generally be ready to go because the brushes are going to harden very quickly. So that's why I recommend using these cheap little like 99-cent ones you get like a bundle. And you don't really gotta get into every nook and cranny, but you want it to be over top of the high points, because the high points is where that's what's gonna scuff off. That'll be the first thing to scuff off when this guy goes to the pose. So you just want to make sure you got good coverage over that. And again, I'm not putting enough on here to really worry about gluing the figure together. You'll see he's a little bit shinier in his crotch now, but none of that's going to rub off. And I kind of just want to make sure I get this section up here too, because if any other part is going to rub off, it's going to be that, which I could probably get a little more dry brushing on that, to be fair. Also, just warn you, with Loctite and glues like this, there are fumes. So I do recommend wearing a mask while you're doing this. I currently am not, because I'm trying to be quick about this, and it's hard to talk and let you guys hear me with a mask on. But in general, it can give you a really nice headache afterwards if you're doing it like this. So I'm doing this. I think I'm going to get around here too. His arms seem like I should be fine. Paint's holding on there pretty well. I'm good. We're here. We'll do it anyways. So add a little bit of glue over top of this part just to make sure it stays, and also just help to protect the paint anyways. Let's get some nice rubbage. One thing that kind of sucks about doing it this way is it just gets kind of pricey compared to some other sealers you can use, but I've had really good luck with this and scuffing, especially on like the Jurassic Park figures and what have you. Alright, so next we are going to be onto the dry brushing. I'll show you on the tail. I'm just going to be brightening it up a little bit. Again, dog's still hanging out in my basement. Just lightening up the colors a little bit. Just give it a little bit of different texturing, but we're still keeping them fairly dark per the Burning Godzilla look. So I just mix some black with the light gray. And we're just going to lightly go over top of it. So what this will do is it kind of gives it a little bit of a different color to the high points. So it'll be a slightly brighter, but the lows are still going to have like that nice dark black look to it. And then I'm just going to go over the entirety of the tail. I'm going to do spines, everything, because when I go back to do the spines, I'm only going to be doing the outer layers, but I want the center section here to still have the same kind of color. I will go over the entirety of the figure doing this, and then, should I go in the right direction? And then we will start doing the burning patches. Alright, so next, I got some images of Burning Godzilla here. What I'll be doing is just putting in all the lining. So, as you see, I got them all put together now. He's all glued. The black I ain't going to worry about rubbing off, and then most of everywhere I'm going to be putting the red onto it. I don't really have to worry about it except around the stomach here. I didn't seal it yet because I got to add the red patches to where I need to go up into, and then we'll seal it after that. But a lot of this is just kind of looking at my image here and just kind of going to town on his chest where I just feel like I need some paint, you know? So just to kind of show you guys a little bit, looking at the chest. I also got my Monster Arts Godzilla hanging out here too, just to kind of help me with the overall, because he looks a little different than the picture. Like there's a lot of the kind of the same things going on, a lot of not though. But for instance, like up in the chest here, it does like this little V, and then it kind of comes down and then wraps back up to go around the shoulder here. So I was going to start kind of just doing little dollops here and there, which is kind of what I like to do for making the pattern for this. Because then it looks a little more sporadic, and then I can always come back through later. I'll even zoom in a bit. But I can always kind of come back through later and touch up and fill in sections as I need to. I want it to look kind of as jagged as I can get it. So a lot of the center of the chest is going to have a lot of coverage. This, on the other hand, not so much. And then I have to come back through and do some touch-ups here and there. Then if kind of don't get it quite the way you want it to, again, it's kind of alright, because it's as long as you get like the patchy flame look, it's gonna look good for you. I want it to be at least similar, because the chest on this, the body type isn't the same quite as what we have with the other Burning Godzilla here, so I'm just gonna kind of do my own thing but make it pretty similar, because I also don't want it to kind of conflict with the articulation. Essentially, this is pretty much it. I'm just going to be doing this for quite a bit, and then we'll come back once I get Everything kind of all laid down in the place. Alright, so I already got the red on. I did the dorsal spines. What I'm currently doing now is actually adding orange to everything on here now. Which all I did was just doll up in a lot of spots. I'm taking my smaller brush for these smaller sections that I did. For sploshing all of the red around. Just to kind of give it a bit of color variety. I'm going to be doing the same here with... you guys see it with a yellow here in a few. But when you watch the movie, you notice like his burning patches aren't quite like a consistent color all over the place. Like there's a lot of reds, there's yellows, there's even some whites. I don't think I'm gonna go that far because white would look kind of weird on this. But definitely want to make sure I get a lot of like the varied shades between like yellow and red. Plus two, the paint that I'm using, it also kind of helps. Because you can, if you missed a couple spots, you can kind of go over it with the orange and fill it in. Same with the reds, or when we go to the yellow. When I go to the yellow, and then the spines I just drew red, and then I went back over and dry brushed it with my orange that I made, so it's got a little bit of a different color variety to it. But I think I got everything. Just kind of looking around to see if there's any like spots that maybe look a little too dark, and I want to kind of brighten it up with the orange. And the yellow is what's going to really give you that like nice fiery contrast that you'd be looking for. I'm trying to focus on where I'm painting, plus kind of look at the camera because like I want to get a little bit better at letting you guys see what I'm doing. Alright, that looks pretty solid. I think I got most everything. There's a bunch of little patches on him. Let me get the arms a little bit more. Right here where I got the little lines that are coming down. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to clean my brush off real quick and blow dry this guy real quick so he's dried anyways, and then we'll put the yellow on him. One thing too I just want to bring up when you're painting this guy is you don't have to have them perfect. Like the reds, the oranges don't have to be matching. Even the pattern, like I'm trying to get it as close to the movie as possible, but yeah, it ain't gonna be perfect no matter what you do. Because even while like looking at different shots in the movies, his patterns kind of change depending, so you're not gonna get like a solid C specific one. That and if you don't get your color base laid on here as flat as you want it to, that's fine as well. Because in the movie, you can still see like his skin patches in spots throughout, and I kind of do that by making the patches sporadic. But if you have like a little bit of black, like when you're like hard looking at this thing for detailing, it's not a big deal because you'll see there's like a little bit of black here, a little bit of black here. I'm going to kind of fill some of that in with the yellow, but again, to be honest, even if you left it, it still works well with the way the movie looks. But anyways, I got my yellow paint. This is what, like the red and the oranges, you can kind of just go ham however you want. You just want to make sure that you're leaving a little bit of red kind of peeking through underneath your orange, just to help give it like that nice little fiery glow look. So usually I try to stick to the reds being more on the outsides, the orange is going to be more towards the inside, and then kind of patch. The yellow, on the other hand, you definitely just kind of want in localized spots. Kind of like the way that looks. Like it's just like sections. It's not really all over the place. So you just kind of want to be like dot, 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 dot. But I'll show you guys real quick on a couple of spots, and then I'm going to go over the rest. But anyways, this chest is going to have the most. So again, just going to kind of give him some nice chunky areas. Try to get as much of the chest set up on camera, and then we'll do the random bits after that. But again, just kind of being sporadic with it. So just laying some spots because it looks like it has quite a bit up here. I may even come up with my smaller brush just to kind of touch up some spots. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the top section. So I'm just going to kind of go through and just add a little bit more for some of these other parts. And then pretty much it for the burning effects. And then it's just going to be doing his nails, his teeth, and his eyes. And then he's pretty much good to go. Oh yeah, and kind of getting paint on some of the other dorsal spines, because the lower sections mainly would be just normal Godzilla. Alright, so I've actually skipped a step to show you guys, but I did the dorsal spines. This is just in a really, really light gray. More or less how I did these. You just kind of go over the edges, call it a day. Next one I'm actually doing is going to be doing all the toenails, which I have this every color paint. You just want to get close to the toenail as you can without touching, and just slowly bring it across. And I'm going to be doing this for each of the nails. Also with this paint, I sometimes got to add multiple layers just to get good coverage, especially since I used a darker black for the base. Yeah, this brush is not doing what I want it to. Alright, got a better brush just to show you guys. But base of the nail, you just bring it forward. Base of the nail, bring it forward. And then kind of just smooth out the paint job here. A little later for the nails, and the clear coat will kind of smooth it out too. But anyways, I'm going to do the rest of this off camera. And then, because there isn't really too much like intricate details, I'll probably actually just hand paint the black around it. Let's think about getting the airbrush out, but it's not really necessary for a guy this small. But add a little bit of black around there, just kind of like what we did with the previous dinosaur we did, the Indominus Rex. It's supposed to be kind of like the same thing going on there. Kind of just clean up my teeth detailing on this side here. Just kind of where I got some of the black paint on it when I did the airbrushing to finish. Well, not airbrushing, but when I was painting them initially, I just kind of went ham all over the place. So I was trying to get everything cleaned up and nice. So go around all the teeth, do those. Inside the mouth, I'll pretty much leave it alone. Next, then I'll show you guys what I'm going to do around the claws to kind of clean them up. And then eyes, and we're done. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the eyes, which might be a little weird showing it at this angle. Alright, trying to get the best angle to show you guys how I paint this. But I just got some gloss red here. I'm just going to be doing the eyes. Want to make sure you get good coverage for the red. And just like I mentioned with painting eyes, you can always kind of come back and fix your crimes eventually. Kind of like right there, I just got some on his brow. Ugh. It's kind of hard to do. Second eye went a little more smoothly, but so you got it upside down. So you guys can sort of see the red. If I can get it lined up good. There we go. Alright, so next. We're going to do the black, yellow, and then add another black to it. So actually, oddly enough, for the black, I kind of want a larger brush. Because when I sit it in there, I want to kind of get it as circular as possible. And then, and as big of a spot as possible. And then the yellow, I'll try to go in slightly less. And not fill in the entire black area. And then same thing for the tiny black. Go back through, do a smaller section. So that's why I'm not going to really be able to pay too much close attention to the camera. I'll just zoom in. But I want to try to get it as close as humanly possible. I want them fairly forward facing. But yeah, we're just going to film my lower section because it's easier for me to do this holding kind of close to my body. But all I'm trying to do here is get it as close to a good circle as I can. And still have it fairly forward facing. Alright, eyes are straight. We're good. Next I'm just going to be taking some black paint. And pretty much just clean up around the edges around here. Like especially around the nails here. And then after that, we're pretty much good to clear coat and then show you guys the finished product. So I'm gonna sit here, do all this, and then come back once I get it all cleared. And here is the completed 1989 Burning Godzilla. Also, tried to make a spiral beam out of the beam it came with.
it's okay. I really wanted to sculpt it, like use some epoxy putty, but I was worried about the weight, so I decided to use some hot glue. I don't know, kind of make it look a little more organic, like a super long tongue. But on a high note, it's not too heavy to fit inside the mouth. So you can still shoot his beam around. But the Godzilla turned out great. Eyes forward facing. Look really awesome. Got the reds with the yellow pupils. Then the little black dots for the eyes. Head looks good. Updated the coloring on the teeth to make them a little bit brighter and stand out more. Same with you can see on the dorsal spines here. Got the red for the center section. Kind of kept it sort of akin to the Monster Arts with the light gray on the side. Same with on the tail. We got all the spines painted going all the way down to the end. Same with on the back. Notice that the back of the head usually had a bunch of the grays, so kept it with just the light grays kind of touching up on the neck here. Then got his flame pattern here on the neck. Then you can see on his shoulders. Come around to the front here. We got more of the flame patterning. Same with on the legs here. And also you can kind of see how the paint job turned out with the black undercoat with the lighter gray dry brushing over top of it to kind of give him a little bit of different color variety. Same thing with the glue technique. When you knock it down with the clear coat, it gets rid of the shine. So you can see that it doesn't have like that glossy finish all over the place for where the glue was. Because especially like did some around the eyes and stuff because I wanted to make sure some areas that the paint could definitely come off. I put some of the glue on there. So like the nails have it over top of it, which a lot of that's just to kind of keep the paint from scuffing off. Most of the rest of it though is just my normal mix of Mod Podge with water and then just airbrushed it on to give it that nice clear coat and then even autographed the bottom for him. So hopefully Joe likes this. I'll be shipping this guy out actually in a little bit. I gotta put him back in his box now. But let us know in the comment section below what you guys think of the Burning Godzilla 1989. I know we did the 2019 one a little bit ago, but this one's definitely more Heisei appropriate. Like, I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section below, but I definitely prefer this one over the other Burning Godzilla that we got previously from the company. Not to toot my own horn, but the color pattern definitely looks... It's just like everything just looks better. And a lot of that has to do with just how awesome the 89 sculpt is that they did for the figure. Because the 94, for the time, was alright, but definitely an outdated looking suit. I also forgot to mention that there's no cloth on the table currently because my cat kind of had an accident, so it's in the wash. So he's got the hard table for that. If you guys noticed that anyways. But help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, Pinterest, Facebook. Guys like to keep up with the day with the channel. Donate, we greatly appreciate it. Also got my Instagram and stuff down in the description if you guys would like to contact us about possibly getting a commission done for your sales. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.